idea of nationalizing banks was to ensure banking services to a large number of people, which in turn make them to participate with the financial dealings and the nation building activities. It is the financial upliftment or development of people and the nation together. That was the main idea of promoting the public sector organization. And now the public sector organization, it is doing well and growing in a large manner. And it is extending its services very well up to the satisfaction of all the general public in the nation, as well as for the country's development, which is well known to everyone. Secondly, now there is a threat to public sector organization for the closure or the privatization move of the government, which is, according to me, what I feel is that is the indirect threat given to the reservation policy of government for the employment avenue of poor and marginalized people in this country. That is what I have come to understand about the move of the present government. So that way, the closure is not just like that PSU's closure alone. This is a closure of reservation policy. So the government idea is very clear that they have plenty of hidden agenda. This is one of the a trick of ideas they are bringing to close the public sector organization at this moment. Number one. Number two, that the banking services in India, they are doing very well. And the financial inclusion policy of the government, particularly the bank sectors, if you look into it, and they have extended the financial inclusion, and they brought large amount of people in the participation of financial activities. That has given large as well as the wonderful way of life to the poor and the marginalized people in this country. So that way the people are very happy to deal with the financial activities with the banks, and also they are more happy that they are also participating in the nation building activities for the country as a whole. What I understand is the banks, they have promoted the large number of MSMEs, that is micro, small and medium enterprises, and these MSME sectors are promoted with bank loan, and these bank loans are given to the MSME sectors to operate in all areas, and there are n number of MSME systems operating in our country, giving employment to the marginalized people. And in case if the PSU's banks are closed, surely that there will be a huge financial crisis for MSME sector, number one. Number two, due to this financial crisis, and there will be a large number of MSME closure also simultaneously, and due to which many people will lose employment. The unskilled laborers, they are engaged in MSME sectors. Once these MSME sectors are closed, definitely those people will be unemployed. They will be pushed into poverty section of this country. Already the poverty line is increasing due to unemployment ratio. Surely that the MSME sectors, once it is affected, there will be huge number of unemployment in this country. That's what I firmly feel. And the foremost point I have already highlighted here, that is the closure of PSU bank is not only that banks alone, according to me, and it is a closure of reservation for employment avenue, which has been guaranteed under Constitution of India, so that it is the closure of banks as well as closure of reservation policy of this country. And there is a saying in economics, you all must be aware, that is the poor remains poor and the richer becomes richer. That's what it is happening. And the recent economic data, which is very clearly giving the highlights of Indian corporates, the 1% or nearly 2% of Indian corporates are the rich people. They possess huge amount of Indian assets. Number one. Number two, that if you see that the poverty line, it is almost touching 60% of Indian population are facing this kind of crisis. When we are having 60% of Indian population under the poverty line, it is very difficult to promote financial as well as other area of upliftment of these people, particularly marginalized people, without the support of banking sector. So banking sectors, they are wonderfully helping to the marginalized people and the poor people to participate in the financial activities in both the way, the financial sectors as well as the marginalized people, they are equally marching towards for the benefit of each other, and they are doing wonderful activities for the nation building activities in the country. Instead of government promoting the financial upliftment of the poor as well as marginalized people, the banking sector in our country is wonderfully extending their help as well as extending harm to the welfare of these marginalized people. Particularly, that's what I want to say that. And second thing that what I feel, there is the because of PSU's operations, many people are provided with employment. There is an income equality in this country. At least you can see that the large amount of employment provided by PSUs, particularly the bank sectors, which has accommodated the marginalized people as employee. There, the employees, they comfortably feel some kind of equality in status, positions, ranks, their authority, their income, at par with other social group. So that way, the public sector organization, particularly the banks, they have brought the equality of all the people as per the Constitution of India. The PSU's banks have brought financial upliftment of both people and the nation together, and that activity is continuing. No way that activity is disrupted anyway for the last 60, 70 years of Indian history. That is well known it is, and it is growing. It is, the upliftment is growing. And the PSUs particularly, they have operated in all the areas, nook and corners of Indian territories, and absolutely they are doing wonderfully well. So that way PSU's contribution for operation as well as bringing the marginalized people into the financial inclusion activity is absolutely all right. And whereas in case of private sectors banks, if you look into it very keenly, their operation is number one, limited, number one. Number two, the coverage and their extending service, that is also absolutely limited. Their financial inclusion activities, almost it is 0 point, number one. Number two, that it is not, nowhere it is near to the public sector's activities and public sector's bank. There is a saying in economics, which is very well known. The poverty anywhere is the highest threat to the prosperity everywhere. So it is very clear, the poverty anywhere is the highest threat to the prosperity everywhere. When the concept is very clear, when the huge amount of population is and involved in the poverty area, that poverty has to be removed once for all. And if it is not removed totally or fully, it has to be reduced to some extent. This is carried out by PSUs, banks very nicely, and there is a very good response also from the PSUs, banks in this area. As I mentioned very clearly, and the PSUs was brought by Government of India for the purpose of various activities to bring up the marginalized people into these activities, particularly the downtrodden community, to avail the reservation of employment as guaranteed under the Constitution. The employment under reservation through PSUs brought equality of human, equality of dignity, equality of position, equality of authority, and the equality of income to downtrodden and others at par with the other social groups attached to PSUs, which they might lose in future in case of privatizing not only banks, other PSUs also. So that way, I very clearly understand that the privatization of the government at present is a clear idea of closing the reservation policy assured under the Constitution. So this point is very clear from my side. So this has to be taken into account for protesting against the privatization policy of government.